beautiful eyes. You lock me in your gaze, and try though I might, I cannot look away. You're not what I expected to find, and now I'm forgetting why I should run from your side. Yeah. One gentle kiss, the pain alleviates. Poisonous lips annihilate me, and every dream that I trade for this bliss. But who can resist? I'm starving alone in the wilderness. Beautiful distraction, keep me hypnotized, and I fall for the enemy. Powerless reaction, I am paralyzed, and now you get the best of me. Is the noble safe from your deceit and lies? I know I've been told this road isn't paved with gold, but I see it glitter now. I'm sold for the enemy. My hands are tied. You've captured your next slave, but it feels justified. I don't even try to break free, and now I'm blind to the truth at my side. That we win before we begin if we stand and fight. This beautiful distraction, keep me hypnotized, and I fall for the enemy. Powerless reaction, I am paralyzed, and now you get the best of me. Is there no one safe from your deceit and lies? I know I've been told this road isn't paved with gold, but I see it glitter now. I'm sold for
Hey, Lord Fourth, good to see you. Hey,
we're going down.
We're a little bit behind you.
Yeah, we're going down. We're going down.
Hey, Brad, good to see
We're
you.
going down. We're going down. Na 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 na. We're going down. We're going down. Beautiful distraction, keep me hypnotized, and I fall for the enemy. Powerless reaction, I am paralyzed, and now you get the best of me. Is there no one safe
Splendor, thank you so
from
much
your
for the reset.
deceit and lies? I know I'm told this road isn't paved with gold, but I see it glitter now. I'm sold for this love.
All right. Looks like I'm about as ready as I'm ever going to be. So, why don't we get started? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the TTRPG Theater. I am your host, Rob, otherwise known as Phantom NJ. Did it really? No, okay. For a second there, I thought it did a hype train with one person subscribing, so I'm like, what is going on? Twitch has been a little odd with that lately. I'll be honest with you. I've not been able to figure out the logic behind some of the things that have happened, but whatever. We deal with it as it comes. Yeah. So, might have noticed that we have an overlay talking about a what do you call it? A fundraiser. I'm partnering with a number of other streamers. This has been kind of organized by Dave over at Guild Superior. I know Stronghold D&D is one of the others. I wish I could say I was better prepared, but this week kind of got away from me. But yeah, no, we are the main thrust of it is with everything that's going on with all you may have heard without getting too much into the politics of it all. There's issues with people not having enough food. It's always a danger this time of year as we go into the winter months and we get towards Thanksgiving and the holidays and basically winter in North America, where not having enough food is can be a matter of life or death. So we are trying to raise money for Feeding America. Feeding America is the largest hunger relief organization in the United States, working to end hunger through a nationwide network of food banks, pantries, and meal programs. Their mission is simple: it's to ensure every person has access to the food they need to thrive. In case you're wondering, 1 in 7 people in America face hunger, including 1 in 5 children. And it's not just an urban issue; it affects communities in basically every county and parish in the U.S. It's a matter of making sure that people don't have to make impossible choices. You shouldn't have to choose between having the food you need versus being able to pay your rent versus being able to, pay your medical bills, get the medicine that you need. We're doing what we can to raise some money. We are looking to raise $1,000. As you can see, this is the first stream that I've had since we started, and we are already at $445 of the $1,000 mark. So they're teaching. Hey, listen, you can teach people to fish, but when the cold winter months come, there's only so much you can do. Ice fishing is a thing, but not to make light of it. They're basically just basic staple foods. When things get expensive, and things have been expensive for a long time now, and it's only getting worse. And there are too many people, more than ever, who are at risk, and way too many of them are children. I was lucky enough to grow up in a family where we didn't have a lot, but I never had to worry about going hungry as a child. Even in the worst of times, that was never really a concern. We got to the point where we were, eating the cheapest of stuff. I mean, I honestly can't look at Kraft macaroni and cheese to this day because it was, or anything like it, because the boxes were cheap. We bought them in bulk, and it was literally with every single meal because that's how you stretch food. You got the cheap stuff, the stuff that was cheap to make. You made a lot of it, and you used it as often as possible to make sure that you weren't hungry as a child. So, like I said, I thankfully never had to make those choices. There were other times in my life where, again, finances were rough, but you had enough to scrape by, and there are people who don't have that opportunity. So, we are doing what we can to raise some money to help those in need, and we are there for this. For this, basically, one of the things that we have is we've had some basically very generous help from several donations in terms of for the people who people donate. Every $5 that you donate will be putting in corn, beans and rice. Listen, beans and rice. That's that sometimes that's what you need. It's life sustaining. It can be it can be really rough, and you do what you need to do to get by, but people need to have access to those basic necessities. So just in terms of what we're doing, as a bit of an incentive, for every $5 that you donate, you will have basically what's pretty much a raffle ticket put in, and we have several giveaways that are going to be raffled off. Let me see if I have the information as far as what those giveaways are, because this like I said, this week kind of got away from me. Well, okay. First of all, in terms of in case you're wondering, the groups that are participating in this are myself, Stronghold D&D, Guild Superior, who Dave over at Guild Superior has basically been organizing this. Folk and Myth, Wanderer's Haven, Disorderly Dice, Phoenix Iwaki, House of Eidolons, Adventure Slang Productions, and Live from the Apocalypse. I think I mentioned Disorderly Dice. If not, I apologize. There's a whole bunch of streamers, including myself, who are participating and trying to raise money. Among the things that we're doing, there are, like I mentioned, for every $5 donation, you will basically have what is pretty much a raffle ticket entered in your name for giveaways. And I don't currently have what that list is. I know one of them is one of the potential things that you can win is a hardbound copy of the brand new TTRPG by the Adventure Slang production folks. Those of you who know Dungeon Mr. Ty. New of Arden is out. They've actually been running it over at Guild Superior for one. I forgot where else. I think Phoenix Iwaki has also had it on his stream. John over at Phoenix Iwaki. I forgot where else they've been running it, but Dungeon Mr. Ty has been running the game. He's one of the primary authors of the game. I had the opportunity. I actually have a credit in the book as a tester of the game. I played in one of the earliest versions of the game. It's 3 years ago now. And so I've been waiting for this for a long time. I think I've shown the book on previous streams. I don't have it at hand. But it's something brand new, honestly. It is kind of sci-fi-ish. It is very much a game of exploration. So it's a lot of fun. I know that one of the other giveaways is from Troll Lord Games. I want to say it is a copy of the New Player's Handbook. I'll have to check on that. Again, I had the information somewhere, and I don't know where I put it. And this, like I said, this week kind of got away from me. This all came together very quickly. Being part of the, being part of this fundraiser. I think Dave asked me earlier this week, and then work happened and life happened, and then suddenly it's Thursday, and we call it, as those of you who have played World of Warcraft may be familiar with the whole Illidan, you are not prepared, and I'm not. there is absolutely no way for me to basically to sum that up any better than just saying I am not prepared. And I do apologize for that. I really wish I had more of a chance to get my act together on this. Savage Splendor, thank you so much. Hey, it's cool. Hey, I was wondering whether or not the donation link was going to work. It did. Well, not the donation link itself, but the donation alert. So it's very cool that worked. I'm a happy man. All right, so we are at 470. We're nearly halfway there. That is freaking awesome. So on a more on a more topical notion, I will get that information with regards to the what the giveaways are as soon as I can. But until such time, actually, let me see something. Screenshots. It's always fun when I can't find the screenshot file that I need. Oh, wait, I think I might have just found it. Aha. Okay, so here we go. We're randomly selecting 3 contributors to the Feeding America fundraiser to win one of 3 amazing prizes. Hard copies of the Newer Varden, Pirate Borg, or Castles and Crusades Player's Handbook. Every $5 donated gives you another chance to win. Winners will be drawn on Monday, November 24th. So that is really, really, really cool. Big thanks to Adventure Slang, Limithron, who I'm assuming wrote Pirate Borg, and Trollord Games. Hey, listen, Savage Splendor, thank you so much. That's awesome. I really appreciate getting the donation, because every little bit helps. I mean, we're not looking to go. I think honestly, the $1,000 goal is a modest goal. I honestly wish the only thing I wish is I had an actual game planned for this period. I told Dave when he asked me to do this, I was like, I'm happy to help in any way I can. My only regret is it comes at a time when I don't have any games scheduled. As a matter of fact, my next scheduled game is literally like 2 weeks after it ends. The first weekend of December, or the first full weekend of December anyway, December 7th, is our next scheduled game. All right. So with that being said, let's do this. Let's go to a presenting screen. I had to readjust the overlay a bit so that, oh, hey, wait, that actually looks better than I thought it did. Well, all right, cool. I can work with that. Yeah. So what was I going to say? We're working on organizations present in the Kingdom of Nairon for the Embers of Empire campaign. And those of you who have been here for, previous sessions know that we've covered a few of them already. Among those that we've covered, we've covered the various orders of knighthood that are present. As a matter of fact, I think we had 2 of them, with possibly looking at a 3rd. So, yeah, with the Knights of the Eventide, which has been a really constant theme so far in the campaign, and then the Knights of Nuon, or Nairon, Knights of Nairon, which is the older version, what Nairon used to be called way back in the day. The Valorous Knights of Nairon at that. So, it's one of those things where, we already have detailed that. We also did the various adventuring companies, and all of these adventuring companies so far that I've, put some information, have been courtesy of Carlos Lysing of Castle Entertainment, who I get to play with at a page coming up in January, and I am looking forward to that. The only sad note is I'm glad I'm going to be able to play with him Page, because I found out he announced recently that he is not going to be able to make it to GaryCon this year. We will definitely be missing Carlos at GaryCon. But I get to play with him at Page. It'll be the first time I get to play with him in person. I've been lucky enough to play with him online, during conventions or during fundraisers and such. So that's gonna be awesome. I did mention that for the churches, there are 4 different churches that are going to have prominence on the PC side of the thing, and that is the Church of Hieronymus, the Church of Pelor, the Church of Fultus, and the Church of Zilchus. Now, interestingly enough, the Church of Fultus kind of does double duty here, because one of the things that I mentioned is, we did highlight when we talked about in the adventuring, part one of this, we talked about adventuring companies, and there was also the question of antagonist groups, and so far they're really, in terms other than the various witch, the issue with the witches, as well as the rebellion, the ex duke or ex count. I have to go back and remember what his title is. Who is trying to reassert power, or somebody's trying to reassert power in his name. It's not entirely clear at this point yet. The other antagonist group has been found to be the Valorous League of Blindness, which is, at least in Nyrond, or at least as far as the Church of Fultus in Nyrond is concerned, is a heretical sect of the Fulton faith. They are fanatics among the fanatics. They are also known to have strong backing, or at least strongly believed to still have strong backing from the the theocrats in charge of the Pale. So Theocracy of the Pale is apparently meddling in Nyrond internal affairs. They were caught trying to stir up unrest in the Protectorate of Almor, formerly the Prelacy of Almor, but now a Protectorate of the Kingdom of Nyrond. And that was the last adventure of Virtual Greyhawk Con this year. So there's going to be more to come there, because we now that we pulled that thread, we're going to have that let that unravel for a while and see where that gets us. Another church that is going to be of importance, but there's not going to be much detail put into it yet, because I want to let this unwind in game more than anything else. And that is, you can't have, if you're going to have the Church of Hieronius being an issue, being a big thing, it stands to reason that the faith of the people who worship his evil brother Hextor would also be an important part of the campaign, and it will be. There's been some issues with Hextorian priests already. Not quite to the level that that the Valorous League has stirred up, but there have been sightings and issues, and there will continue to be, and we will see where that gets us as well. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to go through let's take a look at in terms of Nyrond in the Marklands, and let's go to page 50. I want to see how much we can find here in terms of the faiths, because we know that this, and mind you, the Marklands takes place I think it's some 20 years before the campaign. The Marklands is somewhere, it might even be longer. It might be like 25 years or so. It's like 591. No, actually, it might be 30 years, really. So there is that. So rulership and law. Death by taxes, coinage, transport, commerce, and trade. All right, we got the military, priesthoods. Here we go. So, folks and factions. As nations began to fragment into chaos, people react very differently. Some isolate themselves, retreating from the world. Others reach out and attempt to build some kind of stability and alliance with others. The most important of these alliances are described below. Ooh, I realized that there's a couple of priesthoods that I did not take into account. So, Nyrond, in contrast to Furiondi, is traditionally a moderately religious nation. While martial deities such as Hieronymus had a following, more peaceful deities such as Biori, Rao, and Pelor have been more popular. We have had dealings with Biori, the Old Faith and the Druids and such. Bakab, Deleb, Celestian, and more cerebral deities likewise have found firm favor with the learned. One notable omission, poor Sanius, one of the paladins of the righteous hand, is not going to like this one. One notable omission is Saint Cuthbert, who has never had much appeal in Nyrond. Biori and Pelor have been more revered by common people. Religious beliefs have polarized since the war. Some folks seek solace in stern faiths, which promise certainty in an uncertain world. Conversion to the faith of Foltus is the most extreme case of this. Some folk believe the gods of good have abandoned them and have become bitter apostates. Others still have turned to placating evil gods or grasping at any straw. These have become vulnerable targets for the sweet sayings of charlatans and soothsayers. Certain priesthoods still have important power in Nyrond, but the nature of that influence is itself divided in some cases. The Church of Foltus is bitterly divided, for example, between those who follow the deity in his lawful good aspect and those who revere his lawful neutral aspect. The latter are dominated by fervent supporters of the valorous League of Blindness, while the good-aligned priests have come close to dismissing this as heresy. The most important churches are the following. All right, so obviously I am going to need to add more churches to the list than I had planned on. So we have Bakab. Some powerful mages, sages. Gee, there's a typo. I'm assuming there's supposed to be an "and" in there. Revere Bakab, but a deity known as the Uncaring hardly marshals much faith in Nyrond. However, the important group is the sagacious. Yep. Is that supposed to be sagacious? Because that's kind of weird when it's based on sage. And sagacious is just brutal trying to pronounce. Has many reveres of Bakab, and Archbold, who is long since dead at this point, increasingly influential. Archbold's increasingly influential Grey Seer is likewise a follower of the Archmage deity. Bakab's few followers have influence disproportionate to their numbers. I think I can leave Bakab out of this because the prime players for that are kind of gone at this point. Archbold has been dead some 20 years, 22 years or 21 years or something like that. And likewise is his son, Illaward. Now his daughter is on the throne. Well, Archbold's granddaughter, that is. Then there's Hieronymus. Hieronymus remains the major faith among veteran fighters and the officer class. To them, Hieronymus embodies the virtues of greater Nyrond, a land sustained by faith and valor. Unfortunately, this church is served by a high priest, Arafeld, who is blind and blinkered in support of the king. Oh, we're going to need to up that because, again, this is this is for a period of time that is some 30 years in the past as far as the campaign is concerned. He regards the royal family of Nyrond as something akin to divinely sanctioned leaders. Many junior priests are furious with Arafeld, and there is division within the faith. Because of its highly lawful nature, rebellion against the king and the high priest is desperately hard to countenance, even for a clear conscience. Oh yes, we do have our standard giveaway for Troll Lord Games, makers of Castle and Crusades and Amazing Adventures and other fun products. And let me just verify that. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Savage Splendor, you are in. So, hey, Kern, good to see you. Touch of Evil, good to see you. So, those with energy and drive within the faith are torn indeed. Then there's the Church of Rao. All right. I'm going to need to put the Church of Rao on this list, but possibly a bit further down because I'm not certain whether they're still quite as relevant, but just in case, we can add them to that list. Priests of Rao are active throughout Nairon, seeking to resolve the many conflicts within the land by discussion and arbitration. Canon Durin Ken of Realm Ward has presented Archbold with what amounts to an ultimatum. By year's end, he must see that the people of the land are fed and cared for and put an end to starvation and tax riding. Again, this is some 30 years in the past, so I have to find out whether, what the current story is here. All right. We'll skip the rest of that because it's more about, stuff that is long past in terms of the campaign. Then there's Zilchus. Priests of Zilchus are angry with their rulers and their king because trade and exchange are collapsing. High Priest Pelindrin of Realm Ward insists that Nairon has lived and grown strong through trade and will perish if trade diminishes. He rages at the corruption of so many landowners and the militias who rob merchants and families. Palindrin is a forceful man who wishes to see the king step aside in favor of his eldest son, which actually ended up happening, mostly because Archbold had fallen ill, possibly poisoned. Actually, I believe they did confirm it was poisoned by his younger son, and has said so to Archbold's face that it earned him banishment from the king's circle of close advisors. All right. Now we have the evil deities. That's fine. Let me see if it mentions anyone in particular. It mentions Hextor specifically. Oh, okay. So there's also Incabulus. Something I'll put Incabulus down just in case. Never hurts to have more than one evil deity causing issues. And of course, like I mentioned, there's also the issues with the Valorous League. For those late arrivals, we do have a fundraiser going on for fundraiser Feeding America. We are, in addition, in conjunction with a number of other streams, including Guild Superior, who organized this, Stronghold D&D, Folk and Myth, Phoenixiwaki, Disorderly Dice, and who did I forget among the streamers? Well, there's also Adventure Slang Productions and Troll Lord Games, as well as Lomatheron, who the three groups who are donating prizes. Every $5 donated is another entry towards being able to choose one of the three prizes if your name is chosen. That will happen on Monday. I think it's Monday, November 24th. Let me confirm that. Yep, Monday, November 24th. I believe that will probably be announced by Guild Superior. But we are at $470, trying to raise $1,000. You can get to the donation link by the QR code. And let me put I think I can put the link right in the channel. because I should still have that up. Yeah, there we go. There's the direct donation link for the Feeding America Stream team. And every dollar counts. Yeah, I need to post it to. I do need to post it to Discord again. It's this week. For those of you who are who are just getting here, this week kind of really got away from me. And of course, the Discord, the link for Discord stuff just comes up right at the time. Oofa. All right, so that is, those are the priesthoods according to the Marklands. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Player's Guide to Nairon. Being a guide to the Kingdom of Nairon and the Eastern Flyness in the common year 598. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the religions. Now, you know what? The religions here have 4 main that they focus on. Okay, so many religions are practiced in Nairon, which is the moderate and open approach to such things. The majority have little more than an odd shrine or a small temple in one town or city. For example, Istis in Ragby. Ooh. Hey, Chad. Good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome. I have to note that Istis has a temple in Ragby. I'm not going to go full on Fate of Istis, but having an adventure dealing with the fates could be a bit of fun. Main religions with sizable followings and church organizations are Hieronius, Biori, Rao. I didn't put Biori on the list because for me, in my campaign, Biori is more the province of the Druids. I consider Biori the old faith, and while you technically can have priests of Biori, I prefer the priests of Biori, honestly, to straight up be Druids. It just makes more sense to me that way. Does that make Druids specialty priests of Biori? Yeah, I guess you could say it does. It kind of helps explain. Granted, they don't get the kind of benefits that some special priests have. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Do we have we have specialty priests, but do we have specialty druids? Of course, Biori is not the only one who would have druids. Ilona might also have druids, and does have druids, as well as priests. So we've got Biori, Rao, Pelor, Zilchis, Foltis, Bakab, Deleb, and Celestian. All right. So I need to consider, I had mentioned throwing Rao on the list. This is now, again, mentioning the Church of Deleb. The Church of Celestian. Ooh, all right. So, what I'm doing here is I'm getting the list laid out because the next thing I'm going to need to do is start deciding on organizations surrounding this. I do have some resources to that end. Obviously, there's whatever information I have in here, and we're gonna do some more reading from there. We already talked about Hieronius and Biori. Let's see, does anything change? Okay, so yeah, here's the kind of difference. Hieronymus is the official state religion, with the royal family and many nobles tending to be followers. He also tends to be followed by officers and soldiers. Following the Greyhawk Wars, the church and priests were severely depleted by heavy casualties as a result of being heavily involved in military fighting and conflict, which allowed other churches like Biori and Palor to expand their followings. That just strikes me. The whole Biori expanding. I'm kind of, you're either a believer in the old faith or you're not. I mean, Biori is really kind of a stand-in for Orth herself. Palor, definitely. However, the Church of Hieronymus is slowly rebuilding. Biori and Palor tend to be followed among the common people and farmers, which makes sense. Since the Greyhawk Wars, the worship of Mayheen has emerged in Nairon. All right, I'm going to add Mayheen to the list because I like Mayheen. I like the idea of another hero ascending to godhood, or in this place goddesshood, or however you wish to slice and dice that. So we're going to put Church of Mayheen. Now, one of the other considerations with these churches is that I need to figure out which of these I will have specialty priests for. And I mean, eventually the goal will be to have specialty priest classes available for all of them, all of the ones that are here. Because and also some of the some of the demi-human deities we already have in the Embers of Empire campaign, not the Embers of Empire, Friday Night Crusades, which happens every Friday night, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time in Discord. Come and listen in. Come and create a character. Come and play. It is the lowest barrier to entry to any Castle and Crusades game, or really any other TTRPG get together ever. Literally. I mean, all you need to be able to do is listen in on Discord, preferably be able to talk on Discord as well, but listening in is enough. I mean, if you can type on Discord, it slows things down, but it's not terrible. And there's no time or attendance requirement whatsoever. All right, so we've got Mayheen added. Since the Greyhawk Wars, the worship of Mayheen has emerged in Nairon. Her martial role is attractive to many warriors, especially those females in the military, given Palor tends to be a more passive and peaceful aspect. Her devotion to fighting fiends has also gained her devotion. Hey, Fosco, good to see you, my friend. Given Palor tends to be a more passive and peaceful aspect, her devotions to fighting fiends has also gained her devotion, especially amongst former Almorian citizens and those now residing in those lands. Ooh, that is something I need to play up. All right. It really helps when you help read the source material and figure out what you want to do with these things. Rao also enjoys some popularity among the common people due to the role his priests play in mediating disputes. Cool. Okay. Oh, Pat, it would also help if I was better about, announcing my stream ahead of time. Just a little bit. The support given for the poor and impoverished during and after the Greyhawk Wars by High Priest Durinkin, who lobbied King Archibald to help them over maintaining overly large armies, also won favor with them. All right. So Rao is apparently going to still be a force. I'll have to, bump Rao up to the top list. Bakab, Deleb, and Celestian tend to be followed by the learned classes. How active they're going to be is questionable. The Church of Foltus has been bitterly divided since the wars between the fervent supporters of the Valorous League of Blindness, who tend to operate close to the borders of Theocracy of the Pale to the north. Not in this campaign. In this campaign, they are stirring up unrest in instead of northeast Niron in southeast Niron in the Protectorate of Almor. And many other priests in Niron who have come to view their dogma as something approaching heresy. The Sul deities are followed to a degree along the south coast, especially Osprim and Zerbo amongst sailors, fishers, and sea merchants. In addition to the Oridian sea god Procan, which is fine. I mean, no, I can put those in a bit for flavor. The Flan deities are followed among the wood folk of the Celadon and Gamboge Forest, the hill folk and the Aberrals and Flinty Hills, and marsh folk of the Nat Marsh. In addition, in preference to any newer introduced religions, the old faith and the power of the Druids also remain strong among the people. Again, I consider Faith of Biori to be, pretty much a Druidic faith. Nyrandese will often make an offering to Naribo or Ralachaz in an attempt to obtain good luck or ward off bad luck. So, I suppose I could have a little bit there. That's fine. It does have more information about the Church of Hieronymus. All right. Novices are known as the Blessed. Full priests are known as the Glorious, or collectively the Valorous Host. In ascending order of rank, title is used by Hieronian priests. Wait, what? Hero of... That doesn't sound like priests. That's weird. Okay, one of the things that it mentions is that the Church of Hieronymus was further explored in Bastion of Faith by Bruce Cordell, which I am going to need to... I do have, and I'm going to need to take more look at. I'll also have to take a look at Dragon 354 by Sean, in Dragon Magazine 354. For Core Beliefs Hieronymus by Sean K. Reynolds, because I'm not crazy about those types. That does not seem... I realize that they're military minded, but that doesn't feel like priests. That feels like... those feel like, literally knights. They mention knight gallant, knight courageous, knight valiant, knight champion. Hieronian, what are they supposed to be? Modern, Greyhawkian or Orithrian Templars? Okay, these titles are separated from deity titles such as... There we go. All right. That makes more sense. Postulant, novitiate, professed priest, cloistered cleric, affirmed priest, Templar, such. All right. That just really confused the issue. Interesting. The keepers, after the Greyhawk Wars, the roads became dangerous places. Pilgrims were often attacked by bandits, wild creatures, and worse. Small bands of Hieronians came together to protect and aid those pilgrims. Hieronian worshippers are favored, but those of other good gods are also aided. In 593, the Order of Chivalrous Brothers and Sisters of von Flesseren Keep was created, based near Castle von Flessern. I will have to figure out where Castle von Flessern is. I don't know whether or not it is actually on Anna's map. I am going to take a look at Anna's map right now. We will be raiding into Lord Gazumba in just a bit. Like I said, I got off to a late start, so pardon me for going a little bit over. I did mention the information about the fundraiser, and I did not want to give the actual stream really short shrift. So, zooming in on Niron. Can I find a castle? There are castles all over the place. Sea Watch. Demon Daw. That's an interesting name for a castle. Entrell Estates. Ooh. Wait, what was the name of that castle again? Von Flessern Keep. Well, I found Flessern. I don't know if that just happens to be. We'll have to take a look. All right. Now that is really cool, mostly because it is one more bit of useful information that I can use to add further flavor to the campaign, especially since it is on the Almorian border. Well, actually, it's really not even on the Almorian border. It's on the other side of Almor, near the old border of the Great Kingdom. So we have Nesser Watch, Tessera Keep, Keep Thoria. There's a lot of keeps. All right. I'll have to see if I can get any further confirmation that the Flessern there is what's supposed to be Castle, what do you call it? Von Flessern Keep. Oh, nice. You know, I really need to take a look through those books. There we go. We've got more information about Foltus in here. This book is this thing is really fantastic. The Player's Guide to Nairon, written is from information from the Living Greyhawk campaign. There's so much good information in here. Ooh, okay, all right. More core beliefs payload. Okay, so apparently Sean K. Reynolds has articles I want for a lot of this. All right, excellent. We got a lot of flavor in here. I'm going to need to decide who's currently in charge of, basically who the high priests currently are, because some of the names in here might be long in the tooth at this point. One more time, we're going to get ready to raid into Lord Gazumba. First of all, exclamation point ticket to enter the giveaway. Troller Games, $10 digital coupon towards any digital product off the Trollord Games site. Please take advantage of it. It doesn't cost anything to, it does not cost anything to enter other than a little bit of typing. And you have the chance to, get some more good stuff. Even if you're not playing Castle and Crusades, they have a number of source material. Pat Draws mentions engineering dungeons, which is, useful if you're designing and, you need source material for other games that you're playing. There, I can point you in the right direction to let you know. You tell me what you're playing and what kind of stuff you're looking for, and I will let you know what will be most useful. But yeah, please enter the giveaway, exclamation point ticket. We'll be closing that out in just a little bit. Again, I do want to mention that we are doing a fundraiser for Feeding America. This fundraiser, we're trying to raise $1,000. We are already at $470 in. We are one of a bunch of different streamers. Guild Superior organized this. Every dollar counts. If you can donate $5 is wonderful. There is no such thing as a donation that is too small for this. I realize that it's that time of year and money is tight, and but if you are in a position to do so, I highly encourage it. But beyond that, again, we have Friday Night Crusades tomorrow night in the Discord at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Saturday, I will be on Lord Gazumba stream at 11 a.m. Playing in another session. I'll be playing my barbarian Gam the Confident, or Gam the Confident, however you want to pronounce his name. And it's going to be a fun game. I'm playing with Bella's Deadly, Witch Starfall, and Myriad X are the other players. So this is going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, so thank you, everyone. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for the resubs. Thank you for those of you who have donated to the to the fundraiser. And thank you for, hey, listen, all of you, thank you, whether you chatted in thing, whether you were lurking, it doesn't matter, you were here, and I appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to go to a stream ending, and while we get ready for the raid, but first we have the giveaway. Last chance to enter. I'll give you to the countdown from 5 before I close it out. Again, exclamation point ticket to enter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we are closing the giveaway. And picking a winner. Touch of Evil, congratulations. I will get the coupon out to you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We are going to hang on. We are going to be raiding into Lord Gazumba. Pat, your timing is horrible. All right. We are raiding into Lord Gazumba in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you on the flip side.